Michael Conlan, we are 1 month out
Yeah.
from your Dublin bout. When I say that to you right now, how does it make you feel?
It's exciting, mate. Very exciting. I haven't fought in Dublin since 2016. So the fact that I'm finally back here now, I'm buzzing.
What do these weeks on the run up look like? I know there's a bit of media here, obviously training continuing, but almost from a mindset as well. Do you switch even more into fight mode?
It's nice when you get to come to the place you're fighting and just feel the air, feel the atmosphere. There's nothing exciting happening right now, obviously, but knowing what you're going to be going through in them weeks, on fight week and stuff, it's always great. But the training continues, and I'm in a really good place at the minute, training really well, and very excited for September 5th.
How much has Michael Conlan, a month out from a fight, changed over the years? So I know experience is one thing, but is it really sticking to your guns and your old ways, or do you feel way more relaxed, I suppose, now that you've done it so many times?
I'd say a lot more relaxed, though. I'm boxing now 27 years. It's more than life in prison, isn't it? So, yeah, it's just enjoying it now. At this stage in my career, because I'm under no illusion that this is kind of the tail end of my career. I'm just making sure I enjoy every single moment, every single fight, and every single training camp because, there's not many left for me to do. You know what I mean? There's probably 5 to 6 more, maybe. I don't know, max. So I'm just enjoying them, and it's been great. I'm on my final run towards a world title, and the fact that I get to come back to the city where I forged most of my career, I'm making sure I save every moment.
Assad Khan, March fight, must have meant a lot. It was probably rare for you that you're going in on two defeats
Yeah.
and you were speaking about there and realizing that you're not at the start of your career anymore and that it could be the tail end. What was that overriding emotion? Was it a relief after getting that win?
It was, and in that training camp, I took a year out of the ring, and I came back for that fight, and it was just an opponent to get back into the ring with the guys it was when we sit down, we spoke and laid out a plan, and Asif Khan was the first guy, and he was a tough cookie, but it was just like I gotta go and get the job done. I had no nerves. It was crazy. That made me nervous, not having nerves. It was like, what the hell's going on here? But in that training camp, I felt like I forgot how to box because it took so long. It was the longest I'd ever been out of the ring. And then when I actually finally did get in and get the job done, it was relief. No, okay, I've got that one of the way. Now coming into this training camp, even the coach is saying, what the hell's going on? This wasn't happening last training camp. Says, I told you, I'm not shit. I'm not bad. This is what it's about, and this is what I can do. And he's really happy. I'm really happy. And to get that first one out of the way, it was very important.
You've been so open in the past about talking about the end goals and that world title.
Yeah.
And I think obviously with the back-to-back defeats, it had a lot of people being like, that's that dented.
Yeah.
I know you can never get into that mindset yourself or even admit it, but that is still the goal in your head that you're driving towards.
100%. Listen, I still believe I can be world champion. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't the case. I don't necessarily need the box. I could go off and do other things in life. I have different paths set out in my career. Throughout my career, I set out for when I do step away. So I'm in a good position, but I believe I can still be world champion. I know I can still be world champion. And once I have that in my head, my only goal is to get to there. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'm under no illusion that there's a possibility that it doesn't happen. So, the fact that I can say that and be comfortable with it, I think that's a good place to be. A lot of people would be afraid to say something like that, but I'm mature enough and old enough now and been in the game long enough now to know that, you got to be comfortable with either outcome here.
That hunger though, must have always been there from youth level, aiming towards the Olympics, aiming towards making a pro, and then now aiming towards that world title. Do you feel as a not even as an athlete, as a person, that your hunger is at an all-time high, even still now, like that never leaves you?
Oh, for me, when I set a goal, I do whatever I can to make it. Whether it's walking to the shop or whether it's, to become a world champion, I'll do whatever I can to make sure I succeed in that goal. I think this training camp has showed me that. Now I always says, like, I don't love boxing. You can't love boxing because boxing will never love you back. But I found some sort of love for the game again in this training camp. And someone said to me recently, "You look like you're actually enjoying it again." I says, "I am." And that's a great place to be, especially at this stage, going, I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing here. This is good. I've always enjoyed training hard. I've never cut corners. I've always been someone who gives 100% no matter what I'm doing. But this time I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. And I'm in a good place.
As with any like elite level sport, the highs are so high that they are addictive, I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the lows can be quite low, and we
Yeah.
see that all across the board, no matter what sport you're involved in.
Yeah.
And I think we alluded to it earlier on with your experience and getting more used to it. But can those low lows, are they still as low as
You can
whatever?
never get used to them. You can never get used to losing. I hate it. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a good loser. If anything, I'm a bad loser because on myself, maybe not publicly or anything like that, but I hate losing, and it's a very, very hard thing to swallow. I'd say last year I was pretty depressed in a sense because I had an awful lot of stuff going on, not just in the ring, outside of the ring, family life, everything like that, and I was in a dark place. But once I started to pull myself out of where I was and focus on what I need to do and where I need to get to, I can help myself.
But what does that look like? How do you overcome stuff like that? Is it getting back into the ring? Is it
Setting your goals, getting your focus, refocusing what your goals are and trying to aim towards them. If I was to sit there and go, oh, but I lost here and this year happened and this stuff happened here with my personal life, and feel sorry for myself, you're going to be stuck in that position. So the fact that I was able to go, okay, what's happened's happened. Park it. We got to still get here. Focus on that and try to get towards it. And that's how I believe I did get myself out of where I was and just have, my missus and my kids who helped awful lot as well. They've been a key point in my life and especially in my career. They're the reason I box. They're the reason I want to, succeed. I want to build a legacy for my kids and, build a future for them as well. So yeah, it's a family kind of effort.
obviously one of the biggest things that your legacy was built on, and I think how a lot of people first got to know you was the Olympics, and it's a year on since
Yeah.
Paris 2024. Is it something that you paid much attention? Did you watch the Olympics? Is it something that you have any interest in even looking at anymore?
Listen, when there's Irish athletes, Irish fighters fighting, I'll always watch, especially in the Olympics. But I'd say since 2016, the Olympics was something I watched every single, Olympic cycle. I would have watched it growing up. But after 2016, it sucked the love out of it in a sense for me. But again, I'll still watch because there's people from my home nation fighting and trying to win gold medals, and thankfully Kelly has went and done it, picking up the gold. So it's always great. And I'm always supportive. I'm always backing them. So yeah, listen, I think even when I watched Paris, there were some bad decisions there too.
I was going to ask you, like Dana Morehouse.
Jesus, like that's right, Dana Morehouse. I watched that one, and you're going. You think that these guys would learn from what's happened before, but corruption is corruption, and it'll always be around.
And obviously, you're one of maybe the few people that would understand what Dana was going through there, because I think like that was night and day the difference between the two of them in the ring. And
Yeah.
for someone so young, their first games and maybe not accustomed to what something like that would be, and that almost daylight robbery. Would you have any? Would you have talked to her? Would you have, if she was listening out? What sort of advice would you give? Because I know she's obviously, it's a year on, it's a lot better, but
Listen, as you say, it's Dana's first Olympics, and she's young. It took me many years to be able to do what I done in the Olympics in terms of speaking, because there was many a times throughout that amateur system where you do get screwed over, and you're going, how has that even happened? But for me, it happened to me an awful lot of times in the amateurs, and I didn't say nothing. And then I knew I was going pro, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sign off here with the right vocals when I need to. And all of a sudden, it came in the quarterfinal of the Olympic Games, and my opportunity was there, and it was just emotion took over, and it was like, okay, flip the bird and let's sing now. And when I got there, BBC said no. No, we don't want them. RT called me in. Let's go, let's go. And then I just got to speak my truth. And at times, for some people, not many, I know, they would have went, he's a bad loser and stuff like this. But everybody went, no, he's correct. And thankfully, a few years later, I was proven correct with the McLaren report, and everything that happened. I was right.
Yeah, and it's something that, although I think when a lot of sports fans and Irish box fans think back about your Olympic journey, it is 2016 that comes up rather than London
Yeah.
2012. Is that the same in your head? Like when you think of your Olympics journey, is it the bronze medal or is it the corruption? Or can it be both?
It's both. It's both. When I won bronze in Olympics, mate, that was something I didn't think was possible. My first international medal, never mind, well, major medal, never mind like anything else. That was unbelievable, and I went and just created history in first Olympic Games. Wasn't expected to do anything, and went and picked up bronze medal. So that one sits there with me. It's 13 years now. It's crazy. 13 years ago. The other day, someone says 13 years ago you went to the Olympics. It's like, Jesus, you're right. So it was 13 years. How old am I now? Right? So, but no, listen, it was great. That one always springs up. But when I think about, for anybody who really knows me, because anywhere you go in the world, you get people, can we do the picture? No problem. But yeah, it's all good. But it's always for the 2016 games, and listen, I enjoy it still, and the fact that it's proven right makes it all the better.
Absolutely. And I suppose you mentioned the 13 years, but look at the difference maybe between the 13 years. What is Michael Conlan away from the ring? What's he like? What's he like to do? Are you in a golf era yet or anything?
Golf is massive for me at the minute. I'm actually we're starting a golf YouTube. Me and Ram McLaughlin, who plays for St. Pat's.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's going well. And then also, like, I have my own beer, my own lager, Lager lager.
We should have brought a few in here now. This
I
maybe
should have.
we wait for after fight there and we could do something like that.
Yeah, we'll try and get the three to sorted, and we'll move from there. But no, listen, that's I've loads of different things. I do outside of, I'm a father as well. Like, that's the main thing for me. I have two young kids, 10 and 7, and my life is for them. So that's it. Yeah.
You have a bit of a business head though as well, because I think even with the Conlan box and the management side of things, it's something that you like obviously stay involved afterwards, but you must have an eye on the future as well, and I suppose it's vital.
Yeah, you have to. You've got loads of talent here in Ireland, and not a massive influx of managers and promoters, and there's definitely gaps in the market here to pick up some good talent. So obviously the management side of things, I'll always be busy in that. I'll always be involved in boxing in a sense with that. I have a few different businesses outside of boxing, so I think that's one of the points I would like to get across for any young fighters coming up, is make sure that your life outside of boxing is still moving. Make sure you're planning for the future. Whatever money you're earning, make sure you're investing it and not spending, not buying your watches, not buying your cars. Be smart.
I'm going to go back to the golf just because I forgot one vital thing, and it was our very own Talk Sport Ireland's Conor McDonald. And you had a round recently enough. Is he better at the golf than the hurling?
He told me he doesn't play golf, and then I seen his swing. Now, I know he plays hurling, obviously, but I was going, this guy, hits it like there's something wrong with him. Like, what's going on? What did the ball do to him? You know what I mean? He hits a far. But yeah, we played. We played down in I forget the name of the place now, but it was a good course and a good day. He was good crack.
We'll have to get you with a hurl in the hand now and see
Nah, I don't want. I like my hands how they are. I don't want my hands smashed, and I don't want my legs hit with any hurls.
And I must say, Connor's brought up a couple of times that he was a decent boxer as a young lad. I don't know if he's mentioned it to you.
I doubt that.
We'll have to get him on the bags.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Somebody doesn't need to tell me. I doubt it.
It's all look. Listen, Michael, we're just going to finish. Bit of a quick fire round.
Yep.
Just to see if we can get to know you even more, a bit off the cuff. So if you could be professional in one other sport, what would it be?
Golf.
Your go-to cheat meal?
Pizza.
Your proudest moment of your career?
Winning the World Championships in 2015.
Your childhood hero?
Oh. Who was my childhood hero? Ronaldo, R9.
That's a great show. Wasn't expecting that.
The haircut, I had the haircut and all.
You had the haircut?
That had to be front one, and then
we need to read out the photo. Sorry, yeah.
I tell you a funny one. So my older brother Brendan and my cousin, they winded me up, and they were calling me Schizo Ronaldo because I had this Ronaldo haircut. And I was obviously a little bit of a schizo when I was younger, and so they were shitting down the stairs, and I was obviously, they were weighing me up, they hit me for stuff. They were about 4 years older than me, and they kept going, Schizo Ronaldo in the stairs. I was in my aunt's house. I went in their cupboard and grabbed the pizza cutter. She just had her brand new wall plastered.
Oh.
And I went, Schizo Ronaldo, and I popped around like that, and they were shooting it down the stairs, so I jumped in the thing and threw the pizza cutter at them, and it stuck on the wall, and then I got in trouble for that. I ruined their new wall.
Oh,
so I lived up to the name. I lived up to the name.
Yeah.
You know what
At least you gave him a reason to
it. Name, that's it.
That's brilliant. Bag work or sparring?
When you're in boxing for a long time, when people who still love sparring say, still fresh, you're still fresh. So I'll say bag work.
And in your opinion, the greatest of all time in the ring?
Kitty Taylor.
Love that
from
answer.
Ireland, and at the minute, Kitty Taylor. Of all time, the best ever. I'll just say Ollie.
Yeah. Katie Taylor's a great answer. I love that.
Kitty Taylor. She's my favourite.
Michael Conlan, best luck now next month. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, bro.
Top man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Amazing.